In the early 20th century, sleep science was in its infancy. Scientists were beginning to explore the mysteries of the brain and the functions of sleep. In Russia, a group of scientists embarked on an ambitious experiment to study the effects of prolonged sleep deprivation. The results were shocking and controversial, and the experiment became known as the Russian sleep experiment. This article will explore the details of the experiment, its implications, and its enduring legacy. The Russian sleep experiment was conducted in the late 1940s, during the height of the Cold War. The Soviet Union was in a race with the United States to develop new technologies and techniques for military and scientific advancement. One area of interest was the human mind and its capacity for endurance and resilience. A team of Russian scientists, led by a researcher named Sergei Bruhonenko, developed a method for keeping animals alive without the need for oxygen. This technique involved removing the animal's lungs and replacing them with a special solution that delivered oxygen directly to the cells. The animals could survive for several hours in this state, and the scientists believed that it could be used to study the effects of sleep deprivation on the human brain. The experiment began with 5 healthy male volunteers, who were kept in a sealed chamber for 15 days without access to food, water, or sleep. The chamber was equipped with a one-way intercom system, through which the scientists could communicate with the subjects. The subjects were monitored around the clock by video cameras and other equipment. At first, the subjects behaved normally, talking and joking with one another. However, after a few days, their behavior began to change. They became irritable and paranoid, and they began to have trouble distinguishing between reality and their hallucinations. They reported seeing and hearing things that were not there, and they became convinced that the scientists were trying to harm them. As the experiment continued, the subjects' condition deteriorated rapidly. They became delusional and violent, and they began to self-harm. One subject tore off his own flesh with his teeth, while another attempted to gouge out his own eyes. The scientists watched in horror as the subjects descended into madness. On the 15th day of the experiment, the scientists decided to terminate it. However, when they attempted to communicate with the subjects, they received no response. They opened the chamber to find that all 5 men had died, apparently from self-inflicted injuries. The Russian sleep experiment was a shocking and controversial event that sparked widespread debate about the ethics of human experimentation. Some critics argued that the experiment was inhumane and violated basic human rights, while others defended it as a necessary sacrifice for scientific progress. Despite its disturbing legacy, the Russian sleep experiment remains a fascinating and enduring topic for discussion and debate. Moreover, the Russian sleep experiment also highlights the importance of ethical considerations in scientific research. While the pursuit of knowledge is important, it should never come at the expense of human welfare. Scientists have a responsibility to ensure that their research is conducted in an ethical manner and that the subjects are not harmed in any way. Furthermore, the Russian sleep experiment also raises important questions about the effects of sleep deprivation on the human brain. While the experiment was certainly extreme, it does provide some insight into the psychological and physiological effects of prolonged sleep deprivation. These findings could be useful in developing treatments for sleep disorders and other conditions that affect the brain. However, it is important to note that the results of the Russian sleep experiment cannot be generalized to the wider population. The study was conducted on a small sample of healthy male volunteers, and the results may not apply to other groups of people, such as women or those with pre-existing medical conditions. In conclusion, the Russian sleep experiment is a controversial and disturbing event that has left a lasting impact on the scientific community and society at large. While it raises important questions about the ethics of human experimentation and the effects of sleep deprivation, it also serves as a reminder of the importance of ethical considerations in scientific research. Ultimately, the pursuit of knowledge must never come at the expense of human welfare, and scientists must always be mindful of their responsibility to protect their subjects. It raises important questions about the limits of scientific research and the ethical responsibilities of scientists. In the end, it serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of pushing the boundaries of human knowledge without considering the consequences. In conclusion, the Russian sleep experiment was a disturbing and tragic event that has left a lasting impression on the scientific community and the public at large. While its legacy is controversial and divisive, it serves as an important reminder of the need to balance the pursuit of knowledge with the protection of human dignity and rights.